I still remember the way my heart pounded as I stood outside those heavy oak doors, my white dress whites crisp against my skin, 4 stars gleaming on each shoulder. Not a wedding gown, not lace or veil, just me, in the uniform I'd earned through sweat, tears, and too many nights wondering if I'd ever be enough. My name is Admiral Elena Hayes. Yes, Admiral, but for most of my life, I was just Ellie, the quiet sister, the one who chose the Navy over parties, the one who left home at 18 and never looked back the way my family wanted. Growing up, Charlotte was the golden child. Beautiful, loud, always the center of every room. I was the shadow, studious, disciplined, the one who preferred books and early mornings to her endless drama. She teased me endlessly. "You're going to die alone in some ship somewhere," she'd laugh. "Who wants a girl who smells like gun oil?" I smiled through it, always, because fighting back never changed anything. It only made her louder. Years passed. I climbed. Boot camp to ensign, deployments that left scars no one saw, command after command. I buried friends. I led men and women through hell and back. And somewhere along the way, I fell in love with a kind, steady man named Mark, who saw the woman behind the rank and didn't flinch. When he proposed on the deck of my ship at sunset, I said yes without hesitation. Our wedding would be simple, intimate, a small chapel near the base. I invited family because that's what you do. I even hoped, foolishly, that Charlotte might finally see me. The morning of the wedding, she arrived in a cloud of perfume and judgment. She hugged me tight, then pulled back, eyes scanning my uniform. "You're really wearing that?" she whispered, half laughing. "To your own wedding? Ellie, come on. It's cute, but this is supposed to be romantic." I swallowed the sting. "This is who I am, Char." She rolled her eyes. "Whatever makes you happy, I guess." But I saw the look, the same one from childhood, the one that said I was still the disappointment. As guests filled the pews, I waited in the small side room, smoothing invisible wrinkles, breathing deep. Mark was already at the altar, smiling that calm smile that anchored me. My heart swelled. This was my day, my life, my choice. Then the music started. Soft strings. I stepped toward the doors. That's when I heard her voice, clear, carrying through the chapel like she'd planned it. From the front row, loud enough for everyone. "Look at her, still playing dress up. Who does she think she is? No wonder no one takes her seriously." Laughter rippled, nervous, scattered from a few cousins. My stomach twisted. Not today, not here. But I lifted my chin, pushed the doors open, and everything changed. The aisle felt endless. Every step echoed the years of being smaller, quieter, less. Charlotte's words hung in the air like smoke. I could feel eyes on me, some confused, some pitying. My own mother looked away, cheeks flushed. Dad shifted uncomfortably. They had never understood why I stayed in the service. "It's dangerous," they'd say. "You'll never have a real family." Charlotte had made sure they believed it. I kept walking. Mark's eyes locked on mine, steady, proud. That was enough. But then Charlotte stood, microphone in hand, because of course she'd insisted on giving a toast early. She smiled that perfect smile. "Everyone, before we start, I just have to say something." Her voice dripped sweetness, laced with venom. "My little sister always wanted to be special, so she put on this costume and pretended. But look at her, walking down the aisle like she's some big shot. It's adorable, really. But let's be honest, it's a bit embarrassing for all of us." More laughter, louder this time. A few phones came out, recording. My chest burned. Shattered doesn't cover it. It felt like every promotion, every medal, every life I'd helped save, erased in one cruel moment. I stopped halfway down the aisle. Tears stung, but I refused them. Not in front of her. Not today. Mark took a step forward, but I shook my head slightly. This wasn't his fight. Charlotte kept going. I mean, come on. A wedding is about love, not whatever this is. Ellie, sweetie, you could have at least tried to look like a bride. The room quieted, waiting for my response, for tears, for retreat. Instead, I looked straight at her. Charlotte, I said softly, voice carrying, because silence has its own power. This isn't a costume. This is my life. She laughed again, sharp, dismissive. Your life, please. You're just playing soldier. No one here respects that. That's when the doors at the back opened wider. Footsteps, hundreds of them, perfectly synchronized. I didn't turn. I didn't need to. But Charlotte did, and the color drained from her face. They filled the rear pews first, then spilled into the side aisles. Dress blues, trident pins gleaming, faces carved from granite and loyalty. 200 Navy SEALs, not random guests, men and women I'd trained with, led, bled with. Some I'd pulled from burning wreckage, others I'd mentored through Bud's hell. They had asked to come, not for show, but to honor the woman who had always honored them. In perfect unison, they rose, boots snapped together, hands cracked to brows. A single voice, deep, commanding, rang out. Admiral on deck! The words hit like thunder. Every SEAL held the salute, rigid, unbreakable. The chapel froze. Charlotte's microphone slipped from trembling fingers, clattering to the floor. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. I turned slowly, met their eyes. One by one, I returned the salute, crisp, steady. Then I continued down the aisle. Mark waited, tears in his eyes, not from pain, but pride. When I reached him, I whispered, "They came for us." He nodded. "They came for you." Behind me, the SEALs remained at attention until I stood at the altar. Only then did they sit, quiet, dignified. Charlotte sank into her seat, small for the first time in her life. No more words, no more laughter. The ceremony continued, vows spoken, rings exchanged, but the air had shifted forever. Afterward, at the reception, she approached me, hesitant, eyes red. Ellie, I didn't know. I looked at her, really looked. You never asked. She swallowed. I'm sorry. I nodded once. I know. I didn't hug her, not yet. Forgiveness isn't instant, but I let her stand there in the silence she'd created. That day, I didn't need to shout. I didn't need revenge planned in shadows. My life, the one she'd mocked, spoke for itself. And in that salute, in those 200 warriors who stood when no one else would, I finally heard what I'd needed all along. You are enough. You are respected. You are seen. To anyone carrying the weight of doubt, of family who can't see your worth, keep going, not for their approval, for yours, because one day the world you've built quietly might just stand up and remind them who you really are. And when it does, it won't need words. It will only need silence and a single, perfect salute.